What were there around the swine? I wonder why. That Mark didn't say a lot of chicken there, or maybe lamb or sheep. You see, but the swine. Maybe there's a kind of sign here that this animal, the swine, you see, they don't serve the welfare of mankind. The swine. Because there are many. 6,000, they need a place. This legion needs a place. And the only animals that were available there are not chicken or sheep or horses, but the swine. So you know what happened when the devil went into the swine, 6,000 of them? What happened with the swine? Instead of going up to the mountain, they turn around and all of them get into where? The water. They died. And the most important is this man was healed. People were surprised when looked to him. This is the same person. And they began to pray for him to depart out their coasts. And verse 19, and howbeit Jesus suffered him not, but said unto him, because this young man, this man who was possessed, no longer possessed by the devil, and he asked Jesus, so he could be with them, with Jesus, to become his disciples, and then go and preach the gospel. They want to share the good news, proclaim the good news of Jesus. How Jesus suffered him not, but said to him, go home to thy friends and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee, and had compassion on thee. So Jesus told him, first you go home to your friends and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for you. What the Lord has done for you. This, friends, this is important for us. And the time when I love the song that Mr. Wright read here about "Be Still My Soul." And what 461, and this verse 3: "Be still my soul, the hour is hastening, when we shall be forever with the Lord." When disappointment, grief, and fear are gone, sorrow forgot, love's purest joys restored. Be still my soul when chains and tears are past. All safe and blessed we shall meet at last. I was thinking about this passage here, Mr. Wright, when you were reading. The Lord is helping us, helping me, so you help me. Your song here. So can you imagine this young man no longer have this disappointment or grief or torturing his body or cutting his body, couldn't care less about his body. He's very much about to save himself, and then he can be a witness to his friends, his family, and the Decapolis. They have 10 cities there. Disappointments and fears are gone. Sorrow forgone. Love, purest joy restored. Be still my soul. Friends, we are living this world where people are looking for joy and happiness and no longer sorrow. And then the certainty of the future. My friends, here Jesus gave this young man a future. He went home. He knows his place now. And he departed, began to publish, preach in Decapolis, the cities. There's 10 cities around upper Galilee, all around there. I was preaching about what God has done for him. And the compassion that he experienced through Jesus. Friends, the question we need to ask from time to time is, what God has done for me. There are times that we are thinking, it's not fair, this world, this economic situation here, and I'm trying my best, and sometimes people don't quite care or understand what I'm going through. Perhaps persistency that we enter into your own life. You begin to think about the situation of yourself. You begin to lose hope. But then Jesus came into your life and just asked you, remember what I have done for you. And the compassion that you have from me. This is what we need to think, my dear friends. So, and then he began to preach the words. But at the same time, the question here that we need to ask is this. We are living this world with all the unclean spirit all around us. In 1 John chapter 1, verse 1 says, do not believe in what? Every spirit. Do not believe. Every teaching, do not believe. But we need to what? Test the spirit. 1 John chapter 1. Do not believe in every spirit, but test the spirit. We need to examine it. How can we examine the spirit, my dear friends? Whether it's true or false, good or bad. Let's stand. You know this in Isaiah chapter. I want to read to you Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. I guess you know this text because we've been reading all the time, from time to time. 8:20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. In 2 Chronicles 20, verse 20, believe in God and His prophet, and you shall be what? Established. And then in Ephesians 6, chapter 12, 6:12, turn with me to Ephesians 6:12. Begin with verse 10. Chapter 6, 10. Verse 10, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, and ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins spirit about with truth, having it on the breastplate of righteousness. And furthermore, I'm told in my favorite Christian author, I'd like to read to you here in Maranatha, page 195, says, human enactments, laws manufactured by satanic agency under a plea of goodness and restriction of evil will be exalted. Or in the last days, imagine that. Human enactments, laws manufactured with satanic agency, under a plea of goodness and restriction of evil, will be exalted, while God's holy commandments are despised and trampled underfoot. And all who prove their loyalty by obedience to the law of Jehovah must be prepared to be arrested, to be brought before the council, that have not withstood the high and holy law of God. And furthermore, in chapter 29, this is a beautiful quotation here. Sound an alarm throughout the length and breadth of the earth. Tell the people that the day of the Lord is near and hasten greatly. Let none be unwarned, We might have been in the place of the poor souls that are in error. We have no time to lose. The end is near. The passage from place to place to spread the truth will soon be hedged with dangers on the right hand and on the left. Everything will be placed to obstruct the way of the Lord's messengers, so that they will not be able to do which is possible for them to do. I know that the power of darkness, again what she said here, I know that the power of darkness are working with intense energy from beneath, and with stealthy tread Satan is advancing to take those who are not asleep, who are now asleep, as a wolf taking his prey. Friends, our greatest joy is the joy of having Jesus in our hearts. The unclean devil, the legion, even though 6,000 of them, will be frightened by the appearance of Jesus alone. And your hearts, when the hearts are empty of the legion, the 6,000 of them, and you can imagine who is coming into your heart. The angels of God in your heart. So just like this man here, before he met Jesus, his life was miserable. Friends, life without Jesus is a miserable life. Miserable. But when he found him, now he can differentiate the tombstone and the real house. He can now recognize the face of Jesus. He knows now about his sins, his obligation in his life. That is, to tell his friends, his family, and the city what God hath done for him. Not only that, the compassion that Jesus has given them. And I hope